It's a massive day in the PWHL, a full slate of games from the east to the west coast. And we're kicking things off right here in Lowell for Game 1 as the New York Sirens, who are playing for draft order points, face off against the Boston Fleet, still trying to clinch the first overall seed with a win and help from Montreal later.
So it is the Fleet and the Sirens. Boston has won each of the 3 meetings between these two teams. Most of them have been low scoring, certainly the 2 that were played at the Prudential Center. But the last one here was quite the show right before the Olympic break. Another day where we had 4 games of PWHL action as we do here today. So it's the Fleet in the offensive zone to start. Haley Wynn knocks it down for Boston. Using the wall, Eldridge. Nice find, looking for Newhook. Wynn comes away with it, moving with a nice burst of speed, throws it across the grain, and it missed a tip of Newhook. Keller goes right down to get it. Megan Keller tried a backhand pass, but it's picked up well by Casey O'Brien. Finding Fillier. Fillier moving in and shoots up high, and Frankel just got a piece of it with the glove, then got bumped into as well at the end of it. O'Brien digs it out. Simpson walking in. That got deflected. Bourbonnais nearly had a stick on it, but it's picked up by Alina Mueller. And Boston can reset a minute into the first period.
Already we can see the chemistry between the Mueller line as they were able to get that soft or that high ice option available for a chance. And then the tandem between O'Brien and Fillier with a chance.
Sophie Shirley tried to cut back to the middle. We saw her execute a couple of those plays, had a few decent opportunities against Ottawa on Wednesday.
Yeah, Sophie Shirley, she has phenomenal breakaway speed, north-south, but adding into her game lately, a little east-west movement creates some separation from her and the defender, which gives her more time for her quick release to go off.
Bourbonnais flips it to center, but knocked down well by Ella Huber. Out there with Tapany and Shirley as that pass deflected. This is the one change in the lineup card for Boston today, with Sophie Shirley playing with Huber and Tapany, and then Gable, Rattray, and Brands. That other combination, the other 2 lines holding. Chris Barr's changed lines a lot through the course of this season. Feels like he's got 2 pretty good ones settled and still trying to work through the others. So Shephers with some good pressure put on by Claire DeGeorge. Came over from Toronto late in the season. Here is Bernard. Plays it down for DeGeorge. There's Shephers. There defensively for Boston. And now it's Hartje who resets in the neutral zone. Peshava forcing it forward, and Bernard back. Here is a numbers rush here for New York. DeGeorge through the middle, plays it wide. Churkowski, and it missed up high, and then it was deflected out of play. So New York, it seems like they have certainly made that a point of emphasis today. Those first 2 opportunities really trying to go up against the Fleet netminder. Brandt trying to change the ice. Espa resets. Gable got a stick on it. And Frankel play it to the wall. Picked though by Emmy Fecto. Oh, that's turned over. Bourbonnais gets in front, trying to come back to the blocker's side, and it just missed wide. Good effort there by Bourbonnais.
New York playing with energy. They've had a good couple shifts in a row, both in the neutral zone and offensive zone. We just saw Bourbonnais, good anticipation of that play developing.
Maddie Wheeler now out there with Villiers. Simpson, who scored the game winner against Toronto, a 1-0 overtime win on Tuesday. Now has won 4 of their last 6 games. Have played well here recently, despite their elimination from playoff contention by going to overtime on Tuesday against the Scepters. I got to tell you, though, it was pretty impressive. Like, they were well aware of their scenario, and then once that game goes to overtime, the fact that they were able to reset. Greg Fargo even said he didn't say it a ton on the bench, but he acknowledged, like, hey guys, like, this stinks, right? We know, but let's go. We played really well in this game. We deserve a result in this game. Let's go finish strong. And to their credit, they did that, and they go win in overtime against Toronto, as a penalty was called here against the Boston Fleet.
And it just shows the competitors they have in their team, right? Like, no one wants, you play for the postseason, you want to play there, but can you resettle, adjust quickly, and handle those emotions?
Oh, here's a turnover. There is a chance for Fillier that's stopped by Aaron Frankel. An early chance for New York on the power play. Brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel, Paper Towel. Power through tough messes.
So the puck pops out here as all Boston players are pressing to the wall. That leaves Fillier wide open coming down the slot. She had time and space, too, if she wanted to move the puck to her forehand and do a little deke as well. She opted, obviously, for the shot there.
Penalty was delay of game against Boston on Riley Bregman. So New York to the power play. They're 5th in the PWHL this year, a little over 13%. Go 0 for 4 Tuesday against Toronto, but had scored on the power play in each of the prior 2 games. Island person down. One-timer hops up high off the stick of Denisa Shisheva. Shisheva, who was acquired from Minnesota in a trade a couple of weeks before the deadline. Cherkowski now. Working behind the net with 1:08 remaining on the power play time here for New York and Boston. And their 91% penalty kill this year, second only to Montreal, clears.
And one of the reasons why they're so successful, how they trap and clog the middle and push teams to the outside. And that was a perfect example. Kept them to the outside in the zone entry.
Sandy Hart towards the net. Kick, save Franco, and then finds the rebound with her stick. And covers with 46 seconds to go on the penalty time. Shisheva plays it back for Nyland Person. And Megan Keller's going to get to this. Nice lead pass for Shea Maloney. Coming through. And just tried to drag. Lost the handle on the puck a little bit, so plays it down. Time coming off with under 30 seconds remaining on the penalty. Macy O'Brien tried to drop pass, but nobody there. And that deflects out of play. And not to say that they don't want to win this game, but they're concerned about their effort, putting together a complete game, and being able to take that going into the playoffs for a team that has basically been clinched for almost a month's worth of time now.
Right, you can anticipate having been clinched for that amount of time, maybe a little bit. I mean, it's just a little bit of a challenge, maybe, mentally, to kind of stay engaged. But to their credit, they want this game so much to put their best foot forward heading into the playoffs, as you mentioned.
2 shots on goal in the power play for New York. Forward Mueller off the feet from Keller. Got a pass back. Now it's Eldridge and a rolling puck in front. Newhook couldn't quite reach it. Good response here from Boston. Mueller leaves it behind for Pesheva. Gives it right back. Mueller towards the net. Trying to go Eldridge on the backside. Broken up well by Vespa. Squirts free once again. Pesheva plays it to the corner. Jesse Eldridge off of her stick, and it's Simpson who picks it up for the Sirens. Becto plays it in on Frankel.
A lot of good movement by Boston, trying to create chances, but really give credit to New York for their defensive positioning, because they didn't allow a shot on some of those chances, on any of those chances.
Archie starts out. Cherkowski now against Tapany along the wall. Nice little move, but then Tapany stayed with the positioning there. Prevented the pass from coming across. Here is DeGeorge. Hartmett's over there putting some pressure on. Squirts free to Zandy Hart. The Sirens captain over for Nyland Person. And Archie was trying to hack at it. Hartmett's got right to the spot, though. Zandy Hart again into the far corner. Minutes into this first period, shots on goal are 6-0 in favor of the Sirens. DeGeorge with a chance, turns it back for Shisheva, and a save by Frankel. Make it 7-0 now, and a couple of them been quality chances for a Sirens team that certainly does not feel like they were eliminated on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think a little bit more puck possession or puck management for the Boston Fleet. Just crank it up a little, a notch or two. in dialing it in, because that New York is pressuring hard, and so you really need to make good decisions with the puck when you're in your own zone.
Brandt was there on the forecheck, but it's Shesheva. Good pressure now from Rattray, forcing Shesheva behind the net. Peyton Levis played well here recently. Tried to flip for O'Neill, and Frankel gonna reset here. What a start here for the New York Sirens.
Aaron Frankel has to be sharp as the Sirens look to find a hole, but she covers the 5-hole and keeps it 0-0.
Strong start here by the New York Sirens. Still scoreless in the first as they face off against the Boston Fleet. But we talked to head coach Greg Fargo earlier about his leadership, specifically Micah Zandy. Hard to see her right there. He had a wonderful reaction saying she's the best captain I've ever been around. Her ability to just step back and understand things, see it from 10,000 feet as opposed to being self-indulged is impressive. But what's more impressive is how she has the ability to get the best out of everyone around them, empower other people to be leaders as well. And honestly, Eric Gigi, that's the type of captain that you want for a team like this, who has been so successful, although maybe the results haven't quite been there.
Well, here's a chance for Rattray coming through. Rattray, and a good job breaking it up right on cue by Micah Zandy-Harts.
Yeah, great story, Natalie, and it's true. It's so true. When you play for a captain who sees the best in one another, in your different teammates, and helps elevate them to play their best, I mean, it's such a fun atmosphere and environment to play in. And we just saw a first-hand example of her excellence on the ice as well.
This feels like a game we're going to have to be quick with our stories because there's a lot happening already early. 10:29 remaining, first period. The New York Sirens, great start today. Again, 8 shots on goal. They have all 8 shots on goal to this point. Nearly a good stretch pass there. And that's been a thing. I mean, if you've been following the Sirens team all year, you know that in March, even a lot of talk about struggles early in games. Well, if you look at the shot numbers, they've really flipped that. They were plus 19 in the first period in shots over the last 7 games. Add plus 8 so far here today as this is icing. Now, their goal differential maybe isn't as high as you might want, but they have certainly started better here of late.
They have, definitely. And we'll take a look at this Rattray chance, but look at this stick extension by Zandy-Hart. Her ability to go stick on puck, and then following that up with a McKinnon collision with Levis right at the red line. Great job by Levis to take that, knowing she's going to get hit and get the puck in the zone for her teammates.
Saulnier finds Liz Sheppers. Sheppers tried to shoot from deep. It was blocked by Burbanek. Wynn passes it to herself on the wall. Sierkowski, though, first to fight it for the Sirens.
Just great gap right there by Valario, and that is what's keeping New York in the offensive zone so much, because their D are staying up. It makes it so challenging for the Fleet to have time and space and create anything offensively.
There's a little bit of a lane there, but Boston was going on for a change, so Bargman was able to get it, though New York did ice the puck.
Micah Zandy-Hart as a leader, and how do you handle this adversity, knowing you're fighting for a playoff spot earlier in the season, obviously eliminated, but still the ability to be resilient and still find ways to compete and put themselves in a good position.
Rolled off the stick of Mueller. Sierkowski now to the middle. Newhook had it momentarily, but it's Vespa. Starts it out. Bargman gives it right back. It's broken up well, though, by the Fleet. Hadley Hartmetz in a good position. Boston trying to come back through with their top group. Newhook with space. Newhook shoots. A kick save by Shanahan. And the first shot on goal of the game for Boston. Megan Keller. Ahead for Hannah Brandt. Off of her stick. And Nyland Person. Setting here for the Sirens. Couldn't get it beyond Keller, though. Off of a deflection. Rattray coming in. And Casey O'Brien with a good defensive play on the wall. Sarah Fillier eventually finds the puck. Fillier leading Wheeler a little bit out of reach. knocks it down. Casey O'Brien once more. Nice lead for Villiers. Has Wheeler in the middle. Flip pass looking for Wheeler and couldn't quite knock it out of the air. And then Wheeler takes down Wynn. Here's Bourbonnais. Nice tip in front. Villiers missed it wide. Franco without her stick, and it's knocked pretty far away from her. She's not going to be able to get it until it's out of the zone. One-timer here. Franco makes the stop, and a penalty now is coming up against Boston. I believe they got Gable for the hit in front on Villiers. He was trying to set a screen. The New York Sirens are all over the fleet right now in the offensive zone. I beg your pardon, it's actually McKinnon who's going to go to the box. So with 7:09 remaining in the first period, it is still a scoreless game, but the Sirens are going back to the power play, already out shooting Boston 9-1. Let's see if they can cash in on another Royale Tiger Towel power play for the Sirens. It is scoreless game and a one-timer. Big save by Franco, pushing out on the chance from Czerkowski for the point.
Really good job moving the puck back to the point to get that one-timer option by Czerkowski.
Czerkowski coming in again. Good breakup by Maloney. Sandy Hart back to get it for the Sirens. So 1:18 remaining. All of a sudden, to Greg Fargo's point, right? This feels like a pretty big moment. This is one of those periods that if you're New York, you feel like we have to capitalize on how well we played in the first period. Can they get anything on their power play chance? Shisheva to O'Brien along the wall with Keller putting a good aggressive play out on this penalty kill for Boston. Casey O'Brien straight on, finds Villiers with 53 seconds remaining on the power play time. Shisheva with Keller again putting pressure. Casey O'Brien once more. Switching spots with Villiers. Walking down the wall, Sarah Villiers. Back for O'Brien. 40 seconds to go on the penalty. Nyland Person for O'Brien. She shoots. Save Franco. Rebound, and Franco got it. Then the follow-up chance somehow missed from Shisheva right on the doorstep. Casey O'Brien again. Fan of the pass. And Maloney clears for the Fleet. Shanahan trying to go quickly and beat the Boston change, but it's Levis who will reset the neutral zone. Not for lack of chances today. And Franco with the stick save with 9 seconds to go on the penalty. Barkman, final seconds of the power play time. For Bourbonnais coming down the wall. It squirts free. Nice effort, and the chance is blocked. Vespa was open in the high slot. Pesheva and McKinnon come over, block it right at the end of the power play time. So shots are 12-1 New York, attempts even more than that, but we are still scoreless with 4:48 remaining in the first period. Bourbonnais gets it forward for Harchi. Pesheva putting pressure on in the corner. Here is Valario from the outside, trying to get a tip. Haley Knee went to a knee to block the shot. Harchi right back in for the Sirens. Claire DeGeorge with Wynn back there. Trying to stretch for Eldridge, but it was broken up by Valario. Comes in on the backhand behind the net with 4 minutes remaining in this first period, which has been dominated by the visitors from New York.
Yeah, Boston's having a really difficult time breaking the puck out. Sometimes it's just turnovers or just not as connected as Coach Spar had talked about he'd like his team to be.
Nyland Person for Bernard. Got deflected. Wynn trying to hack at it. But Shisheva picks it up. DeGeorge and Wynn both went down. Shisheva's shot blocked by Eldridge. Now Nyland Person comes in. That's blocked by Mueller. Shisheva again. Tried to go wide. Wynn with a strong play to force her behind. Tried to center up. Franco got a stick on it. And Sophie Shirley out for Mueller. And Boston gets it to center.
Boston breaks it out. New York, D to
right
wing, to
in.
corner, forecheck hard. It's been excellent hockey for the Sirens so far.
And then by the time Boston can get it out somewhat clean there, it's the end of a shift. You're forced to change. Give up the puck. O'Neill, hand on it a bit. Shirley finishes off that change. Here is Rattray. Looking for Brandt, trying to spin, and a glove save by Shanahan. How do you find a way to try to reset on the fly and get back in this game, understanding that we're still scoreless?
Right, I think it just takes one collective shift. If you can build one shift where it's tape-to-tape passes, you get it in on the forecheck, get some quality chances on the net. Can't pass up looks at this point. Every shot's a good shot.
There is Riley Bregman down for Tapani. Susanna Tapani coming down the goal line, tried to get in front, rolled off her stick. That's a good effort by Bourbonnais, and then eventually it's forced out to center. Keller flips it back in, but Bourbonnais was on it again. Let's take the other side of it now. If you're New York, you've played this period, you have to love everything about it except the bubble still on the board. What's the key here in this last minute and 49 seconds of kind of going with, we need to take advantage of this period?
Right, I think it's just stay with the same formula. Trust the process, the results will come, because they're doing everything right. It's just a matter of picking the corner. A lot of shots we've seen going, trying to go top shelf. And so if they're in tight, can they do a deke and try to switch it up a little bit or get that deflection? There's one beautiful chance from the point to down low of Fillier. So that's another option to create just continued movement.
The fewest shots the Fleet have had in a period this season is 5 against Ottawa. It was the other day, actually. They have 1 shot on goal in this first period. It's 13-1 New York. Olario. Cut it over with Abby Newhook, putting a good hit on Bernard. Bernard playing it forward. O'Neill turns. Here is Shisheva. Shisheva comes in up high. Good save, Frankel. Had to go glove side shoulder to make her 14th save of the period. Another one from deep, make it 15. As Nyland Person's chance denied. Got another look at it. Shoots in, stick save, Frankel. Guiding it to the corner. Sandy Hart picks it up. Nyland Person once more. Plays it across. Levis shoots, blocked by Jesse Eldridge. It's a couple of block shots from Eldridge in this first period. 16 seconds remaining. And New York still pushing here late in the frame. Sandy Hart for Nyland Person. Wheeler coming off on a change. Gets it now. Tried to go around Eldridge. Strong defensive play by Jesse Eldridge. Was added so much to this Boston team beyond just the goals. And that's how period number 1 comes to an end. Talked about scoreless game as we start period number 2 here on this final day of the PWHL regular season. First of 4 games coming your way all day long. Starting here in Lowell, big one at 2 o'clock to decide the 4 seed in the PWHL playoffs. That's next. Ottawa and Toronto. Nyland Person plays it in for the Sirens. And again, because New York was eliminated, because of where they are in the gold plan, there's really not a lot but pride on the line today, but they are playing like they, as Greg Fargo told us, Kayla Vespa told us during the intermission there, they want to finish this season the way they feel like this season has deserved based on their play all year long.
And they had a fantastic first start to that as well. I mean, their resiliency, their ability to pressure hard all over the ice was evident on display.
Bourbonnais flips it forward. Kristen O'Neill flips it in with Bregman back there. Icing waved off. Levis won the race. Levis has it now, centers up. It was deflected, then Levis got a chance at it a couple of times. A hack from Bourbonnais. Levis now in the corner. It was bumped by Shirley. Fleet player went to the ice there. And a good deflection, but still a couple of chances from that blocker side of Frankel. Tapani finds Sophie Shirley. Shirley gives it back. Tapani. Defense by the Sirens, though Tapani stays on possession the whole way. Tapani sets up Hartmetz. Chance from the outside, knocked down. Rebound loose in front. Shirley turns and it couldn't get on goal.
Really good possession by Tapani. She had the puck in a dangerous area when she got it 5 feet inside the blue line, and coaches always say manage the puck well. She did such a good job protecting the puck with her body to create that chance.
Pejeva is looking to flip it down for Gable. Comes out to center. DeGeorge is there. So Frankel's going to go play it. Sandy Hart knocked down by Hannah Brandt. Here's Lauren Gable. Gable is looking for Brandt, a little bit too far in front. Gable finds Rattray, side of the net, tried to flip it to someone, comes all the way through to Keller. Now Wynn trying to make a move to center. Gives it back for Keller with space. Keller coming through, couldn't get the shot. Still finds its way to Rattray, and then Wynn hit the side of the net. Brandt ended up in the net for Boston. Becto comes in and throws a hit on Saulnier right in front of the Sirens bench. Haley Wynn once again. Wynn shoots, knocked down. Wynn got it right back, tried to drag, and it was blocked. Really good play there by New York. That was Bardman who got her stick in the way.
And two good, quick examples of why Keller and Wynn are so effective on the blue line, and that's their ability to move with the puck. They are able to shake defenders. They can rotate and crisscross with a drop pass or just shake off an opposing forechecker as well.
Casey O'Brien for the Sirens. O'Brien moving in right to the net. The net actually stayed on. Frankel got knocked out. O'Brien right back on it now as we play on. It was O'Brien and Wynn into the net together. Another one for the outside, knocked down. Frankel rebounds there, cleared to the wall by Shirley. Beg your pardon, that was Liz Sheppers on that last clear. So 4.5 in, an eventful second. Sarah Fillier, nice pass forward. It rolls off the stick of Wheeler. High the net of Shanahan. Hubert trying to get positioning on it. With Simpson there for New York. So certainly a little bit better zone time for Boston in this second period, but boy, New York is capitalizing on their opportunities just in the sense of really getting a lot to the net in this game.
And they're getting inside quality chances as well.
Shirley cut into the middle. Sophie Shirley shoots. It's blocked by Sandy Hart.
Great job by Rattray. That's kind of what Boston's been missing, that second player joining.
Now it's a 2-on-1. Levis and Shisheva. Levis shoots, kick, save, Franco, and she finds it.
The poise and patience by Aaron Frankel coming in on a 2-on-1. Boston defenders pinch. That leaves us a 1v2 opportunity. And watch how Aaron Frankel just waits the play out. Waits, kicks her right toe, and is able to corral the puck in tight to her. It's so hard. Usually a big rebound comes off when you hit that toe. If you're coming in as a shooter, you want to hit that toe because it'll come pretty hard off right back to you, but she does a fantastic job corralling that and covering it.
It's a quick turnover by Bernard, getting possession back for New York in the offensive zone. Claire DeGeorge got it all the way across. Sherkowski tried to give it back. It was deflected. And it's out to center. Boston's still on their heels a bit here, early in the second period. Our game is still scoreless between the Fleet and the Sirens. Here's Pesheva. Nice little move to get in. Pesheva, chance from the outside, was wide. Rattray off the wall. Jamie Lee Rattray plays it back. Wynn moving her feet. Wynn shoots. It was blocked by Hartje. The Shepard's off the wall. Taken away by DeGeorge. That's covered up by Shanahan. Off the face-off, Megan Keller. Ilario sends it around the wall. Keller trying to pitch down. Lena Mueller knew a hit was coming from DeGeorge. Squirts free. Here's Newhook, rolled off her stick. Hartje is the one putting pressure on. Mueller knocks it down. Here is Jessie Eldridge. Trying to play it forward for Keller. It was blocked by Bernard.
A lot of blocks so far in this game by New York defenders.
Here is Wynn over for Keller. Those two have been back together. We've seen them split up for the most part the last month and a half or so. Spard trying to go with a little bit more balance through his defense core. Newhook nearly got to it. Wynn's back on it now. Here is Megan Keller walking in. Keller shoots. It's blocked by Hartje. And off the stick of Newhook. Eldridge. Good zone time here for Boston. Wynn walking the line with Hartje the closest to her. Wynn spinning, tried to get it back for Mueller. Hartje goes diving down for it. New York gets it out. This will be icing, though, against the Sirens. Long defensive shift there for New York.
Now the challenge is, how can we move the puck and manipulate our shot in a way that we can get it on net instead of hitting the shin pads or the skates by the players in front of Shanahan?
That's what's been happening a lot so far in this game. Ella Huber was trying to get a lane in behind, untouched in icing against the Fleet. If you want to go through what the scenarios are, basically Boston needs to get 2 more points today in this game that Montreal gets in their game tonight against Seattle. So Boston gets 3, Montreal 1 or less. Boston gets 2 points, Montreal would have to get none. That's the scenario. Montreal will win the tiebreak if that's how things finish. And of course, with the #1 seed, the right to pick your playoff opponent. Wheeler shoots up high, save Frankel, and another diving save by Frankel. She has been remarkable so far this afternoon. Here's Fillier again. Poked out by Rattray. Rattray and Gable over on that opposite side. Rattray once more behind the net. Trying to center up. It's loose in front. Shanahan holding her spot. Still looking for it. It squirts out. Hartmetz picks it up now for the Fleet. Rattray back up top for Hartmetz. Now here's Pesheva against Fillier. Her shot knocked down. Rebound was almost there. Hartmetz goes and finds it for the Fleet. Casey O'Brien putting a good hit on behind the net. And finally it squirts for Simpson.
Really good keep by Rattray. She's just been solid in the plays that maybe no one takes notice of, but makes so much of an impact because it keeps the play going in the offensive zone.
Jill Saulnier now hit Fillier as she was going off for a change. 10:08 remaining. The second period, still a scoreless game. Feels nearly impossible that our game is still scoreless at this point. Little pressure up high from Shea Maloney against Kira Judikis, playing her 4th game from the University of New Hampshire, just up the road. Here is Jill Saulnier working Working behind the net against Nyland Person. Vespo over for Zandy Hart. Over the halfway mark of the hockey game. Keller's going to find that, keep it in for Boston. Squirts free to win. He's trying to get a pass across to Newhook. And a good stick by Judicus in the way. Win once more. Over Keller. One-timer misses wide. And Eldridge, deep into the shift, goes back to get it. Starts it out for Keller. Got Mueller forward. There, got to it in the corner. Squirts free off Levis's stick. Mueller turning back. Mueller trying to keep it going. It's on Eldridge. Couldn't get the shot through.
Wow, what a job stick handling with your feet by Mueller, kicking it up and then allowing Eldridge almost a chance to get a shot.
And it was Shisheva who got her stick in to break up that play. Here comes Shirley. Sophie Shirley spins, got it back, tapping it, deflects up in the air. Shanahan looking for it. Puck is still loose. Squirts on the goal line. It's still available, maybe underneath O'Neill. That was a really good job of the officials not blowing that dead and waiting, because that puck was available. And everything breaking loose now on the final day of the regular season. How can you not be romantic about hockey?
Aaron Frankel, a pair of beautiful saves. Look at this pad extension to keep the puck out of the net. 0-0.
Yes, it feels like Boston has had better zone time here in the second, right? But even as close as that puck was to the net, that whole time, there was no shots on goal there for Boston, and that's still where we are. 21-4 in shots on goal in favor of New York Sirens. Fecto against Wynn. DeGeorge now works it out for Simpson. That was blocked by Eldridge up high. Orbinet turns it back. So 7:29 remaining here in the second. Game with no score between New York and Boston. In on Shanahan, covers up. Job by Fillier. Nice pass out for Wheeler.
How about that pickup? She caught that puck on her back end with the puck between her legs.
Zandy Hart turning back for Wheeler. And Zandy Hart once more towards the net, blocker down. Rebound O'Brien, and Frankel got her again.
In terms of block shots, what needs to happen to maybe get more on the inside and just create from that?
Just a little quicker on the trigger. It's, you know, we're trying to create a lot of motion in the offensive zone right now. They're getting in lanes, and so a little bit more decisive.
Thank you, Coach.
Perfect. Decisive is a great word, because when you create motion, you want to cause confusion for the opponent, but you don't want to confuse your own teammates in where they're going to go or where to anticipate you to be next. And so if there's just a little bit more decisiveness between the fleet players, both the lines and the D, to be more connected, I think we'll be able to see a couple more quality shots go on net.
It's the blocks, and it's also just those sticks and lanes by New York and just preventing chances from even getting to the point. I mean, shots are closer to even in this second period, but it still feels like New York's had much more opportunities and good scoring chances. Is this one here? A little backhand by Shirley. Did not get to the net again. Picked up by Ella Huber. Huber trying to push through. Nyland Person was there in a good spot. And Casey O'Brien's got it in center, just momentarily, though. Leader right back on it. Here's Tapani. Susanna Tapani circling against Zandy Hart. Out for Pesheva. Under 6 to go in the second period of a scoreless game between New York and Boston. Huber couldn't quite keep it in. And Fillier will throw it to the corner. You know, you include this game, you look back at New York's game on Tuesday against Toronto. Shots were skewed in their favor that game as well for a while, not quite to this level. but it's 2 games in a row. New York's got to feel like it's everything but the puck actually going in. That one they eventually win 1-0 in overtime.
Right, they're doing all the right things. They're in the right spots. Like even that last clip we showed before we went to break, Casey O'Brien, net front, got a rebound, kicked it from her skate blade to her stick blade. But again, I mean, you got to be able to solve Aaron Frankel, who's been on point this game.
Chance for Eldridge, squirts in front. There's an opportunity for Newhook to try to center up. But again, the Sirens all in good positions in front of the net. Archie and Keller coming together on the far wall. Only puck, Rattray going back for it. Now here's Keller. They're onside. Pass was a little too far for Rattray. Archie from the outside, that miss behind the net. Hit by Ella Huber in the corner on Archie. Archie coming through, nice block by Keller. And her right at the spot on the face-off dot. Burkowski reaching forward, got it forward. Archie was trying to play a behind-the-back pass for DeGeorge. It's a little bit too far in front. Valerio now from the outside. Frankel sees it clean and gloves it down with 3:45 remaining in the second period. We are still scoreless here in Lowell. So many rookies who've been impactful on this New York team. Obviously, we talk about O'Brien and Kaltakova so much, and deservedly so. Remember Wheeler way back when, in the opener, those 3 assists in her PWHL debut back on November 22nd. Hold on. There was Gerard's goals. That opening night hat trick. Person in the corner. Wheeler there, and Eldridge as well for Boston. Vespa, the other player for the Sirens. Eldridge off the backside of the post. It's quite literally just throwing everything towards the net. Eldridge back in, hits the trailer Mueller. Mueller shoots a save by Shanahan with Newhook in front. They might get a penalty at the end of this. There was a late hit on Newhook after the whistle. And Boston, I think, is going to go to the power play for the first time for a cross-check called here against the Sirens. So it's a cross-check called against Emmy Fecto.
A turnover in the neutral zone allows Boston to get going up ice. Nice pass by Eldridge over to Mueller, and there's Newhook looking for a rebound, and as you can see, a very clear cross-check.
You can hear the whistle as well, so it's after the fact. So it sends Boston to the power play for the first time. A Royale Tiger towel power play for the Fleet, their first of the game. Boston 5th in the PWHL this year on their power play. So again, just 2 for the last 43 on their power play, though both of those have come in the last 5 games. Nice work here, shorthanded for New York, as they take a lot of time off here. It's a power play that feels like it's passed the eye test this year.
Right, I mean, early in the season, it was just crushing it with the one-timer option by Megan Keller. So that gets taken away. How to create opportunities now, how to get 2-on-1s on the other areas of the ice and in the offensive zone. And so that's been the struggle and challenging aspect for the Fleet to try to come up with other ways to be able to get the puck in the net.
Chris Barr switches to his second unit fairly quickly here. Ella Huber in the corner, plays it along for Tappening. Archie over there for the Sirens, and Bourbonnais picks it up, can't quite get it out. Hartmetz keeps it in, plays it along the wall, squirts for Pesheva. Back for Hartmetz with 50 seconds to go. Pass got knocked up in the air, Tappening has to use a glove. Settles it down for Hannah Brandt. Now it's Tappening once more for Hartmetz. Quarterbacking, Tappening again, shoots from deep, got tipped. Ends up in the corner. Peshiva, the defender, down low. Brant lost her footing. Final 27 seconds of power play time. Hartnett once again. Tapany now. Moving in, plays down low for Brant, tries to get it across, couldn't connect on the pass for Peshiva. And Hartje now. Play it back, take some time off here for the Sirens. We'll kill off the penalty in the final moments of the second period. No shots on goal for Boston on their power play chance. But it's Saulnier who comes right back in, tried to shield. Saulnier gets back on it in the corner. Liz Shepherds, half for win, along with Megan Keller. Peyton Levis gets to her. Shea Maloney now. Kristen O'Neill there. Saulnier and Maloney up for Wynn. Rolled off of her stick. Wynn still fires, and a save by Shanahan. Might have snuck up on her a little bit.
It can be sometimes pretty discouraging as a player if you can't even get shots on the net on the power play. And so it's really got to be, hey, let that one go and revisit, refocus, come out and play 5-on-5 strong hockey, because otherwise it can really get in your head, especially if you look up at the Jumbotron and see only 8 shots on net thus far.
And another chance coming through here. Zandy Hart, it hit the crossbar! Oh my, what a chance late in the second period. But we remain scoreless between New York and Boston. Remember, Boston now has not scored in over 75 minutes of game time. Remember, it's the second period on Wednesday against Ottawa. Abby Newhook giving the Fleet a 1-0 lead. Remember, the Charge ended up winning that game in overtime 2-1, and we're still scoreless here as we start the third period. This final period of the regular season for New York and Boston. Here's Sarah Fillier trying to weave through, but Haley Wynn in a good spot. Gets it ahead for Alina Mueller. Mueller moving in, has some space, trying to back in. Rolling puck, Tapany got a piece of it. Then Eldridge on the backside and ends up going wide. Eldridge again comes right towards the net. It was broken up momentarily. Eldridge again finds its way to Keller. Keller back for Wynn with some space. Wynn moving through. Her shot blocked, and now a whistle as Eldridge was on top of Shanahan.
It'll be interesting to see, kind of splitting up that line, tossing Newhook on the Shepherds line, and having Tapany with Mueller, who she's usually always had great chemistry with. Add that with the chemistry that's already developed between Eldridge and Mueller. That could be a really good combination for this period. Yeah,
Mueller and Tapany have played so much together through the first 3 years of this league. Again, Boston still in the running for the 1 seed. They need 2 more points today than Montreal gets tonight against Seattle in the finale of this big final day of the PWHL season. Hartnett's from deep did get a tip in front, but it deflects wide. Ella Huber cutting across. The rolling puck knocked down. Peshiva couldn't quite get it over to Hartnett. Shea Maloney comes out, putting some pressure on O'Neill. Simpson sends it around the wall. So Saulnier now. Getting it out for the Fleet. Right back for Bernard. Big hit at center ice. That was McKinnon. Got the hit on Levis. Another one right in front of the New York bench.
McKinnon's had at least 3 hits so far in this game. Just very physical presence right from the get-go on Levis even back in the first period.
Up by New York to force that to center. Shirley plays it forward. Tapany shoots, and a save by Shanahan. Off a face-off win. Mueller finds its way for Megan Keller. All the way around the wall. Wynn across for Keller. Keller shoots from deep, got tipped, and it missed wide. Eldridge tried to center up. Rolling puck. Ends up with Haley Wynn. Some pressure put on by Sarah Fillier. Wynn towards the net. Hit a skate of Tapany. Eldridge got a stick on it. Ends up with Keller. Whacks at it from deep. They score! Tipped in! Jesse Eldridge did it again, and the Fleet lead 1-0.
Just on fire is Jesse Eldridge. Look at how she pursues the puck, able to create a turnover, and then she goes net front. So smart. Instead of just coasting and taking away space in time to the left of the net, she cuts right in front of Shanahan's vision, so makes it challenging, but then gets her stick on it to deflect the puck into the net. That is a goal that the Fleet needed to have, and just, again, credit to Coach Spar, switching the lines up, providing a little spark to get his team on the scoreboard.
So that change of line early in this third period with Tapani moving onto the line with Eldridge and Mueller. Eldridge gets the tip, Tapani setting a screen, and the Boston Fleet have a 1-0 lead. It's the 23rd time this year that Boston has scored first. That is the most in the PWHL. And for Jesse Eldridge now, I mean, you talk about an impactful trade before the deadline. Here's the turnover first. Right to the net goes Rattray. Then Brandt following it up. Saved by Shanahan. And it kicks out wide. Hartmetz down for Brandt. Anna Brandt turning away from Bourbonnais. Gets out front and hit the side of the net off Lauren Cable's opportunity. And it's cleared all the way down. And Boston has found its game early in this third period.
She is such a dynamic scorer, and she creates space for her teammates. She has fantastic chemistry early on for this Fleet program that she's joined.
Keller wrapping around, still loose in front with Mueller. Got a hack at it, and Shanahan makes a big save, and bodies going everywhere. Eldridge waited a long time, got it to Tapani. Tapani waiting, sets up Eldridge, rolling puck. Sandy Hart finds it and plays it off the wall. Is whistled down for icing. Keller got it forward for Shirley, just a little bit too far. Time with Person playing back with her. Maloney now plays it down. Shirley sets up Maloney and missed wide. Really nice design there by Boston. But New York comes back the other way, 3-on-2 momentarily. Villiers moving center, big glove save by Frankel. First shot of the period for New York after Boston had the first 5 opportunities of period number 3. Do they have 6? Hero Sheppers went too tall. A lot's been developed below the goal line here from Boston in this third period. Kinnan and Bernard came together in front of the Boston bench. Flip to center. Bernard got it forward. 5 minutes into the third period. A 1-0 lead for the Fleet. Here is DeGeorge. Goes wide for Hartje. It's Neubauerova. Again, just added to the active roster today. Wheeler goes up high and missed on the opportunity. A little bit of space created there. Simpson plays it for Wheeler. Waiting, got it to the middle underneath the stick of Hartje. Now it's Bourbonnais with time. That's a big kick save by Frankel. Comes out for Wheeler. Now it's Simpson once more. Walking to the middle. Trying to get maybe a tip somewhere. Ends up in the corner. That's deflected out of play.
A lot of players just shoot the puck without purpose and intentionality. And the fact that she can put it in a spot where forwards love to have it, where you can deflect it right in. And so I just think a lot of credit also can go to Megan Keller and how she has helped the team both with her leadership, but also her fantastic play.
Felt like so many goals early in the season were involving Keller. And not to say her production has come down at all. It really hasn't, right? New career high, 20 points, now 21. After that last assist. But it felt like it was a lot of that coming from the point where now maybe it's more secondary stuff. We've talked about Eldridge and Mueller so much more recently for Boston. Mueller right there, nearly turned it over. Now Keller, nice find for Mueller. Moving through, goes wide for Tapani, and that gets deflected up high. Haley Wynn coming down. Wynn circling, so good on the puck, finds Keller, one-timer up high with Eldridge setting a screen. Eldridge centers up, but nobody there. Keller once again resetting. Rolling puck, Saulnier got a stick. Shirley was bumped from behind by Vespa.
Really good back pressure right there by Shea Maloney, coming through the middle of the ice and creating that turnover for Boston.
Jill Saulnier finds a lane, trying to move through a couple of Siren defenders. Ended up the 1-on-3. Forced to the wall. Newhook coming down. The rolling puck. Saulnier, nice job to go back and get it. Plays it in for Callie Shanahan. Liz Shepherds along the wall. Plays it back for Hartmetz. Hartmetz shoots from deep, lot of tips in front. Settles down. They score! Ella Huber! 2-0 Boston!
Ella Huber, such a fun player to watch. Watch how she picks the puck up in her skates, able to track it to her stick with people right over her so she can escape that pressure. A nice shot on net. And we talked to Coach Spar about her before the game and just how he is so impressed with her ability and her desire to forecheck, her desire to get on the puck first. But she has such a high quality goal scoring ability as well. And that's a direct result of a forechecking pressure by her and her line mate. So just awesome job by Ella Huber and the Fleet on that goal.
Well, Ella Huber, the second-round pick of Boston, the PWHL draft. These two teams probably most defined by their rookies as any two teams in the PWHL. So the Boston Fleet, look, it took them a while to get to their game today, but to their game they have gotten, and they lead by 2 in the third. Well, that got knocked down before it got to Frankel. The Fleet have as many shots on goal in this third period as they did in the first 2 periods combined today. And they have a 2-0 lead as we play in the third, but it's Bourbonnais whose chance from the high slot ends up behind the net for Cherkowski to pick it up. Cherkowski towards the net. Nice play by McKinnon to go down to a knee and prevent that pass from getting across to Fillier. You know, we talked so much about Keller and Wynn, and deservedly so, but a really nice play by McKinnon there. Those other defenders for this Boston team have been getting more ice time recently. We've seen Keller and Wynn broken up, and it's been really important to this Boston defense, really rounding it out as a depth unit and not just about those top 2 players.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see the improvements specifically that those players have made. And we've called, as you mentioned, McKinnon's name so much in this game, whether defensively or her hits and putting kind of pressure on the opponents.
Keller stayed on the puck there for a while. It was finally broken up. And Levis got around Wynn. Levis along the wall, bumped by Shea Maloney. And then Megan Keller was first to it. Keller got it forward for Saulnier. Looking for Hannah Brandt. Kristen O'Neill. Flipped it forward. Just rolls off her stick at the end. Simpson back to get it with good pressure put on by Jamie Lee Rattray. Anna Brandt now starts it back for Peshava. Now here is Hartmetz. Hartmetz trying for a tip. It did get tipped, but I think off a New York stick. It's up going wide of the net. Lauren Gable now centers up Rattray. Got 2 hacks at it. Then the third got through to the net. Big save up high by Shanahan. Good lift there to end up stopping that puck right on the chest.
And really good work by Wheeler on one knee with her stick, just kind of getting in there, disrupting Rattray so she couldn't get a clean shot in the first 2 opportunities.
Under 10 minutes to go here in the third. 2-0 lead for Boston. on this final day of the PWHL regular season. Lead again, as they've talked about a lot. Chris Barr's talked about it a lot. They're more concerned about the effort today, having good momentum going into the playoffs. But I'm sure they wouldn't mind putting some pressure on Montreal tonight as well. Here is McKinnon. McKinnon shoots from deep, misses wide. That time it was Abby Newhook in front. Here's Riley Bregman. He's looking forward for Tapany. Spears at it. Here's Megan Keller. Hit the skate of Eldridge. Still found its way to Mueller, who plays it in the rolling puck. Tapany nearly got it towards the net. Susanna Tapany playing with the jump here in this third period. Keller once more looking for a tip. Got through. Saves Shanahan and secures it. Analyze here, Gigi, these last 9 games, and they show you that. You see what Boston's defense has done. But one of the things that's happened over those last 9 games is Keller and Wynn's minutes have come down, which is less about them, and it's more about the likes of Pesheva and Hartmetz and Bregman and McKinnon's minutes going up, and Chris Barr really feeling like he's got some quality depth and balance to his defensive unit.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, because not only in the last 9 games have they improved defensively, but they've also improved offensively. Everyone says a good offense is a good defense, right? And it's just really cool to see the trajectory. And they have, Coach Barr has talked about, we have individual development plans for each player, and to see how the defense has really improved in their pivots, in their ability to read pressure, in the picking up the puck off the wall, off dump-ins, and their ability to exit zone cleanly. So it's awesome to see how collectively, as a whole, that D-core has really improved.
Here is Levis circling. Cherkowski plays it out for Bourbonnais. Walking in, moves to her right, got a little bit of a pick, and they're going to call that.
New York, number 19, minor penalty, interference.
It's a tough one to take in the offensive zone, but it is the correct call here, right? You can see it happening in real time, that pick play.
Right, as you see earlier in the shift, Levis lost her 6, so she's trying to go to the bench, but completely runs into Alina Mueller as Mueller's walking the line, mirroring the D as the D's walking the line.
So Boston will take their second Royale Tiger towel power play. And New York immediately clears. No shots on their first power play look. It's interesting here. Chris Barr changed pretty quickly to his second group on that first opportunity. Sticking with them to start here. Rattray's shot is stopped by Shanahan. We're usually talking about fewer power play chances when it comes to playoff games.
True, and I'm almost curious to see if Boston is able to generate any chances from low to high.
Like that. Nearly created by Mueller.
I mean, Mueller's so dangerous with the puck behind the net. She can shift and draw players to her and dish in the slot, and she can also go way up top to her defenders.
Wynn comes in and whips it around. 1:13 to go on the power play time. O'Neill came out on Eldridge, squirts free to Keller, who finds Wynn. Sandy Hart the closest, along with Shisheva. Newhook out for Keller. Eldridge from the wall, moving in, her shot blocked. Squirts out to Keller, though. Finds its way to Wynn, back for Keller. And Wynn once more, and score! Win with their first career power play goal. It's 3-0 Boston in the third.
Some great decisions as they go. Keller and Wynn go back and forth, playing catch with it, knowing, hey, there's players in my lane right now. Let me dish it to my teammate to create some open space. And that last shot was just a good decision by Haley Wynn, because the top 4, this is a great angle you'll be able to see. So notice how O'Neill goes to the left. Because she goes to the left, and then Shisheva comes up behind her, she's not exactly in the perfect lane to block Wynn's shot, and Wynn also slid backwards just a foot or two, and that's all the difference in the world. And how about that shot, too? We talked a lot about Keller's shot, but what a one-timer by Wynn.
5th goal of the year, 19 points now for Haley Wynn on her rookie season. And it's 3-0 Boston with all 3 goals coming here in this third period. Under 6 minutes to go in the third. Again, we told you Boston was looking for the effort today to build some momentum, to feel confident going into the playoffs. And again, as we said a few times, it took a minute to get there. But they have got there here in this third period. Penalties coming up here. 5:31 to go in this third period.
Boston number 81 is to this boarding.
So it's a boarding penalty called against Noemi Neubaurova. With 5:31 to go in the third. Boston with a 3-0 lead. 3 third period goals by the Boston Fleets. And take this 3-goal lead with 5:31 remaining in the third. Do have another power play chance here for New York. Played so well in those first 2 periods, especially the first. And now trying to break through for the first time in this game. Another Royale Tiger Towel power play for the Sirens. Island Person goes back for it. There is Peyton Levis. Net is empty for New York with 1:40 to go on the power play time, but it's Saulnier who skates out with it. Jill Saulnier cuts to the middle, has the empty net, and scores!
Fleet off the penalty kill. Saulnier was able to get the puck off a nice pin along the wall, and she just kind of goes from the right side of the ice all the way to the left side, top the circle, fires it in the empty cage, put her team up 4-0.
Third shorthanded goal, third jailbreak goal of the year for Boston. So that does it for the power play, remember. So Greg Fargo giving it one more chance late. So we're back even strength, 4:48 remaining in the third period. I think there's an important point here as we watch Boston play this third period the way that they've gone. One of the things that I think Chris Spar feels most confident about with his team, now we've seen this play out sometimes, and sometimes it's just been conversation with him as that's deflected, is they really trust their ability to wear teams down when they get deep into a third period like this. Now, today's game was a little bit different, right? New York completely dominated that first period. Let's call it what it is. But Boston feels like they have that ability to wear down here in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the resiliency and it's the culture that they have in that locker room. The ability to say, hey, we didn't play our best, but we're not going to be defined by how we played in that first period. We are going to come out. We know how we can compete. We're going to be fast, physical, hard on pucks, and that's what they've been able to do.
Tapani finds Eldridge. Didn't quite get that chance through. Back for Tapani momentarily. Now Wynn comes in. Little tip on the backside. Shanahan had to make a save and then swipes at it. 4 minutes remaining in this third period. Looks like a penalty. There was a hit along the wall. And we got another boarding call here against Boston with 3:48 to go in the third.
Boston number 44 is 2 minutes for boarding.
This time it's Jill Saulnier.
Another look at the Sirens power play.
And it's another Royale Tiger Towel power play for New York. Villiers flips it, Shishaba cross. O'Brien rolled a little bit up her stick, and it ends up going wide. Shanahan staying in the net for now for the Sirens in a 4-0 game. 1:42 remaining on this power play time. Chance from the outside, knocked it. Oh, Franco with the great stick. Nyland Person over for O'Brien. Back up for Nyland Person, walking in, finds Villiers, her shot knocked down. Now it's Maloney who clears with 1:14 to go on this penalty time.
Wow, what a save. I mean, her body moving to the left while she's extending, and to still have your upright ability, your core strength to reach your paddle out and bat the puck out of the air.
Mueller clears it back to center. 55 seconds to go on the penalty time. 2:40 to go in this third period. Dominated by Boston. After New York outshot Boston 16-1 in the first period, here in the third, a complete reversal. It's 16-4 Boston in shots in this third period, and all 4 goals. And Zandy Hart, the captain. Megan Keller comes away. Knocked down by Keller and scooped up by Frankel. Pass was a little bit behind Bernard. Final 3 seconds of the power play tie. And another penalty kill for Boston. Bernard flips it forward, rolling puck. It was Hartshee who was reaching back for it, but the Fleet get it to center. So final 90 seconds. It's not going to be the closing act that New York wanted, but what a start to this game. Still what a season and what positive momentum for the Sirens. Not just on the ice, but off the ice as well, with the crowds recently. MSG to Prudential Center. Huber on a backhand miss wide. Another follow-up chance comes around. A lot of excitement about these rookies going forward for the Sirens. The Boston Fleet put together quite a third period. What we know is the playoffs will open Thursday night in this building. What we don't know yet is Boston against who, what seed the Fleet will be, and whether they will be the ones picking their opponent, or will it be Montreal. That all now will be sorted out tonight, as that game now will decide who the #1 seed is in the PWHL Walter Cup playoffs. Boston will get 3 points today, so Montreal will need a win. They need at least 2 to get the #1 seed, otherwise it will be Boston's. Bargman in the corner, tried to center up, knocked away by Frankel, and Saulnier whacks it all the way around. Icing with 3.9 to go. New York up to 30 shots on goal in this game. The Boston Fleet win their finale behind Aaron Frankel's 8th shutout, a new PWHL record. The year ends the way it started with the Frankel shutout. They will open the playoffs Thursday. Gigi, great being with you all year, with Natalie, our entire crew here based out of Lowell. For our entire team, Eric Galanti saying so long. Final score once again, Boston 4, New York 0. Thanks again for joining us, and enjoy the rest of this final day of the PWHL regular season. The playoffs are right on the horizon. Boston will be there off a 4-0 win.